All right, welcome back. As you can tell, I fixed a little spot right here. I set up a new lamp so I don't have to use the overhead light. Unfortunately, now there's a little glare right here, and that's only because I'm actually recording it during the day in the basement. And there's a window over there that's just coming on in. But yeah. It has been a while since I've recorded, so that's usually how it is. It's time to get back to the groove of things. So, we're on scenario 1B. I updated my deck. Here. Dr. Armitage suggested you track down his associate, Dr. Francis Morgan. He's not sure whether Dr. Morgan is in trouble, but he's not particularly happy with his colleague's present choice of company. He's in the Clover Club, a notorious gambling joint somewhere downtown. Finding the club's exact location isn't easy. It agrees a few palms just to learn which of the downtown restaurant operates at this club's front. That restaurant is La Bona Luna, a somewhat upscale Italian eatery by the theater. You change in your Sunday's best to make your way there. In front of La Bona Luna stands a man in pine-striped suit. He sizes you up as you approach. Enjoy yourselves, as he says with a snake-like grin as he holds open the restaurant's front door. Alright, so we're currently all set up. We have one enemy that starts off in this place as Clover Club's pit boss. I mean, what's worse with this glare over here is that it's actually glaring towards me, so I can barely read the cards from here. So that's just another one of the things I have to fix. Alright. Agenda 1A. You have entered the Clover Club Casino in search of Dr. Morgan. The club is bustling at this late hour, filled with patrons looking to relax and drink or make it big. You don't particularly appear to be in much danger. Beginner's luck. You need to find Dr. Morgan. The club is packed. Perhaps somebody knows where he is. When you reveal a Chaos token, you may treat that token as if it's any other token in the Chaos bag. If you do, remember the edit cheated. Limit once per round. Okay. So I start out at La Bella Luna. La Bella Luna was a multi-purpose establishment. Has one clue. The music is cliche and they only serve spaghetti. As far as covers for underground speakeasies goes, it's not particularly creative. Alright, let's look at my deck, my hand. Alright, this isn't particularly too bad. So yeah, I actually really like this. Alright. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pay 4 to bring out Alice. Then I'm going to search right here. I gain a -1. So yeah, I pass it. I have 4 because I'm with Alice. So I gain this clue. I need 4 clues. And then I am going to I'll go ahead and, for my last action, grab myself a resource. Alright, enemy's turn. Oh, by the way, for this agenda, each criminal gains aloof. So this pit boss right here is aloof, which means he does not engage with me. He's just basically just doing his own thing. But he does have the hunter, and he hunts the person with the highest book, which I do have the highest book. So he'll go right here, but he doesn't engage with me because he's aloof. But basically, after an investigator at Clover Club pit boss location gains any number of clues, he does engage with you. So he's like, yeah, what are you doing here? What are you asking about? He doesn't like questions being asked, basically. Alright, my turn. Oh, and I forgot to... Now it's the upkeep phase. Then the mythos phase. Oh, Bandit Thug. Okay, so the Bandit Thug is aloof, so he goes right there. That's actually particularly well that he's right there. Alright, my turn. I'm going to spend 3 to 2 to put in Pathfinder. During your turn, if you're not engaged with the enemies, exhaust Pathfinder, move to a location. This basically means a free movement, which I'll do. So I'll move and move into the lounge. Comfortable leather couches, mahogany furniture, and an array of beautiful art greets gamblers, tempted into the life of would-be affluent. While it is Act 1, which it is, it gains discard an ally to gain 2 clues from the token pool, which I'll do. So Alice, gone. And so basically she went off to do her own thing while and getting cut clues for us. Alright, so should we go to the bar? Yeah. I'm gonna actually, knowing what's about to happen, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the bar. That's the end of my turn. O'Banion's not a hunter, but he will actually go this way. Alright, so reset everything. Gain 1 resource. Alright. So, encounter card. Twisted Fate. Reveal a random token from the Chaos bag. Alright, random token from the Chaos bag is -2. If you reveal an Elder Sign or positive, nothing happens. If you reveal any other number, take 1 damage, which I did. So I take 1 damage. Alright, my turn. Oh, I forgot to reveal this. The shelves behind the bar sag beneath the weight of all the manner of bootleg drinks, cheap ale, and moonshine, expensive bottles of wine, aged whiskey. If you only had a couple hours to kill. Well, Act 1, spend 2 clues, gain 2 clues from the token pool, and draw 2 cards. Remember that you had a drink. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to gain, but I need to spend 2, so I'll gain 1 resource, pay those 2 for another action. You gain 2 more clues, and draw 2 cards. Works for me. 5, 6, 7. Alright. And then, when do we pay for it? When the investigators have collected a number, they must advance. Alright, so it's advancing right now, no matter what I can do. After speaking to a number of gamblers and servers, it seems that Dr. Morgan has quite the run lately. Instead of cashing out his winnings, he's convinced to double down. He's last seen entering the guarded hall near the back of the card room. Put the set-aside darkened hall into play. It's right here. Darkened hall. And that is connected to here, and this goes there. So, double. And if it's Agenda 1, discard cards from the top of the counter until a criminal is discarded. It is an Agenda 1. So discards until a criminal is discarded, and then spawn that enemy down. Alright. Up, and there we go. Mobster. Dr. Morgan is somewhere in the private section of the VIP of the club, where only VIPs and the club managers are allowed. If you're able to find him, you're going to have to sneak or even fight your way in. Alright. So, I'm going to 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Use my last one to gain 1 resource. Alright. Enemy's turn. Pit boss is going to go over here trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing, which I'm not doing anything. Then I'm going to upkeep phase, gain 1 resource, recover from card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 cards, don't have to worry about my hand size. Goes down. Mythos time. Place 1 doom in each criminal at your location. Alright, so that's actually beneficial. Even though there's 4 doom, it's not actually going to continue. Alright, so my turn. I'm going to do 2 actions to gain 1 resource and to play this. So that took 2 of my actions. Oops, that's it. I'll just go Pathfinder to move right here for free. Clover Club card room. As you approach the card room, the clinking of poker chips and the shuffling of cards is punctuated by shouts of revelry and frustrations. Your thoughts are nearly drowned out by the racket. Basically, if it's Act 1, it's not. But basically, at any time, I could have, instead of just buying a drink for free clues, I could try to gamble my way, which is get a random item from a bag. But I didn't want to do that. Alright, and I am just going to go ahead and move, my last action to move over here. And that's the end of my turn. So the pit puller class is going to get closer, and the upkeep phase. Gain 1 clue or resource, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so I still have 8. Now this goes in here, and bam, the agenda continues. And this also goes away because it clears everything out. Ugh. You sneeze. Alright. Your question has drawn the attention of several men, hired thugs, by the look of them. Francis doesn't want to be bothered, one of them says. We suggest you leave the premises before we force you to leave. And I forgot to actually reveal this, but I'll do that later. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So let's go back in the encounter deck. If the player has completed extracurricular activity, advance directly to 2B. So when it goes down here, instead of going this, bam, I just do another agenda. You hear the crash somewhere outside and screams of pains in the lounge. A terrible monstrosity smashed through the entrance of the club, crushing the stairwell, knocking over gangsters and patrons alike. Spawn a random enemy from the hideous abominations. Encounter set in the Clover Club lounge. Shuffle the rest of the encounter set and a set aside strike and fear encounter set into the encounter pile. So, yeah, basically monsters have just broken through, and we have a conglomeration of spheres just busted through the place. Yep. I'll put this now into the counter deck as well. Conglomeration. Yeah, so I realized a while back that my deck doesn't have any firearms. It's just melee. And this little bugger actually eats melee weapons. He has 6 health too, so constantly beating him down with my machete is not going to do much. Let's go back up. Move all investigators and unengaged enemies from here to the Clover Club. So Ruban's going to go here. And remove Labuna from the game. This is completely out. Amidst the chaos and confusion, the strange abominations attack everyone in the club. Screams echo through the halls as the blood begins to spray. At the start of the enemy phase, discard each criminal enemy in the same location as an abomination enemy. So at the start of the at the start of the enemy's turn, this guy's basically going to be killed by a conglomeration. But they also don't have aloof anymore, so this guy goes directly engages with me. So let's look at this darkened hall since I forgot to reveal it. A heavy oak door stands in this secluded corner of the club. As you approach, the air grows heavy, and the calmer of the card room fades behind you. There's no clues on here. The door slams shuts behind you, and you stand in a sudden silence. The area of the club is lonesome, devoid of all warmth and color. Somehow the spotless floor and walls seems more sinister than inviting. When the darkened hall is revealed, put the 3 set-aside back doorways in here. So, bam, bam, and bam. Let's just go ahead and move this a little bit over. So, switch to these, I'm pretty sure can all go. So there's 3 rooms trying to find Dr. Francis Morgan, or a way out. Alright. So, my turn. I'm going to go ahead and use my Pathfinder. Oh wait, I can't use Pathfinder because I'm engaged with an enemy. But I don't want to kill him just yet, and you'll see why. So I'm going to use one of my regular actions to move into here, which means I get attack of opportunity by the mobster. And I lose 1 resource because of his forced ability. You approach an unmarked door towards the back of the Clover Club. VIP area. This is where it's supposed to be where Francis Morgan is. While you're at the VIP area, you cannot draw cards or gain resources during the upkeep phase. The coppery smell of blood assaults your senses. The floor is littered with broken glass and upholstery has been torn to shreds. Where is Dr. Morgan? Well, something happened here. Alright, so there's 1 clue in here. That's fine by me. We're going to use our other action to attack the mobster. He only has 2 health, so I should be able to kill him in 1 hit. And I get a -1, so he has a 2 against my 4. So yep, killed him, and I use my free action to gain that clue from here. And perfect, because I found the VIP area. I can go ahead and spend my 2 clues. Only investigators may spend the VIP area, which we were at. So I'll spend my 2 clues to advance this. If the players have not completed extracurricular activity, do this. We have. If the players have completed extracurricular activity, which I know I'm not saying that particularly right. The VIP rooms are filled with mangled and bloody bodies and unfortunate patrons. There doesn't appear to be any trace of Dr. Morgan. You hear screaming and gunfire from the main area of the club. Put the set-aside Peter Clover into play. So, into the Clover Club bar. So this guy spawns right here. Search the encounter deck or out of play for an abomination enemy and spawn it at the Clover Club bar. Alright, here we got one. Servant of the Lurker. So he's at the bar too. Having a bar with Peter Clover, apparently. Advance to 3A Fold. Alright, 3A Fold. That's not this one. Free drinks for whoever gets me the hell out of here, a man exclaims from the bar. While Peter Clover is not controlled by a player, he gains Parlay, tests 3 will or mind to convince Peter to follow you. If you succeed, place 1 clue from the token bank on him. If there is one per investigator clue on Peter, take control of him. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. So basically, we're trying to get out of here. Now, with Peter here, I can go back and try to save him, but that's extremely hard to do, especially with a solo play. I have to go 1, 2, just a turn to get over here, but at the end of the enemy phase, if no investigator controls Peter, do 1 damage to him. He's going to constantly get hurt every time. I think it might be possible to save him, but I highly doubt it. Right now, I need to resign and get the hell out of here. So, I do want to kill the pit boss because he has victory points. But not right yet. There. Alright, so I'll use my Pathfinder to move back here for free. And then I'll move down my last action to move down here. Art gallery. There's 1 in here. If you fail a skill test while investigating the art gallery, lose 2 resource. Exotic art antiques adorn the walls of Peter Clover's private gallery. An even breeze rustles the worn pages of the ledgers back and forth. Alright, so it has 1 victory though, so I might be able to get that. I need to get as much experience as I can, but this is also no resign, so that means the air to how to get out of here is actually in here. Alright, we'll reset. Clover Club boss, so at the end of the turn, no bandits get killed by the conglomeration of spears. Clover is currently being hit. The servant on the lurker is actually going to go on the hunt for us, so he goes right here. So does conglomeration of spears, and so does the Clover Club pit boss goes towards us. He will only die if they actually start on him, not at him. Alright, so I'm a bit of a bind. Right here. So I gain 1 resource, draw 1 card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9, which means I have to get rid of one of my cards. I'll get rid of my preposterous sketches. Put 1 Doom on the token. I have plenty of time to get out of here because there were 7 on there. Swarm of rats. Alright. That's actually kind of somewhat decent. I don't have to worry about it. Basically, it's easier for me to kill something than to investigate, but only by 1. Alright, so let's go kill the swarm of rats. 0. Swarm of rats dead. As Roland, I get a free clue. Lovely. I'll use Pathfinder to move myself up here, and that means he is no longer aloof, which means he's actually going to try to attack me. Which is, you know what? Fine by me. I'll use my extra action to move down here, which means he hits me for 2 more damage, which is fine. Roland has 9 health. Back hell out of doorway. We can get out of here. A steep, narrow staircase ascends a second unmarked door. As you surprise, it leads to the back alley behind La Bella Luna. This must be where they smuggle their goods. There's 1 clue and 1 victory point on here. Alright, so I have 1 more action left. I could kill this boss because I actually have 2 vicious blows, which will allow me to do more damage. But even if I kill him, I'm not going to be able to get this clue because I can only do Roland's ability once per round. So I already did that with the art gallery. So but we can go ahead and kill him anyway. It's the shroud's only 1, so we're going to spend 2 vicious blows. And with my machete, that'll do 4 damage if I hit him. -2. So he's at 3. And I'm at 6. I'm at 5. Oh, because also these 2. So yeah, I killed him. Which means I get a free victory point because he gives me a victory point. And that was my last turn. My last action. Let's go back to 3. Enemy phase. Peter is not doing so well. And both the conglomeration of spears and the servant of the lurker are going to come down. Servant of the lurker actually has victory points as well. Only 1 victory, but he has 5. And I'm not going to be able to do more than 1 damage to him because of my machete. You can only do extra damage if there's only 1 enemy, but they're both coming at the same time. Oh, and I forgot to, that's later. Alright, so, gain 1 resource. And I gain 1 card. Crack the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. I do have a Blessed Blade. So, my Blessed Blade allows me to put a special Blessed token into the token bag. Before revealing this attack, you must exhaust blessings. I had to add 1 to the token bag, which is fine. If I bring it out, I can actually, while these guys come down, I can hit them a couple of times with this. Also, well, I can put only one of them in, but I can put 1 blessed token into this bag for better skill tests later, but I do not know if they actually go beyond a scenario. So you know what, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead, play this as is, with that idea in mind. And then I'm going to look up online if I can actually keep these tokens in my bag between scenarios. I think I can, but these are the first time I actually played with the token cards. Actually, let's look at this real quick. Does not contain any tokens relevant to have these tokens removed from the bag. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they stay in the bag just because of it doesn't say take them out of the bag. The only time you ever take these out of the bag is when you pick them up in the from the chaos token, and this is an automatic +2, and then you get another one. So you know what? I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. First things first, I'm going to investigate, and I'm actually going to be using I'm up by 2, but let's discard commit Alice to this so I get +1, just so in case you get a -3 or something. -1. So I gain this, which means all these areas gives me free victory. I'm going to gain 1 resource, put these out, and then I'm going to put Blessed Blade out in my hand. Alright, enemy's turn. It means they all come down here and engage me. Do they attack first or? Oh yeah, they actually do attack. So they come down and then they hit me. So that will do 3 damage to me. 3 health and 3 mental damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So I have 2 health and 2 sanity left. So lovely. Now it's upkeep phase. I gain 1 resource and 1 card. Don't need it. Alright, so it goes up by 1. And dissonant voices. You cannot play assets or events. I can only play skill cards. I don't even have any skill cards. I can still commit to them though. So these both don't have retaliate. So alright, so my Blessed Blade. They do not have retaliate, so even if I am... Oh, I discard the top 2 cards of my deck. So that's, yeah. Bam, bam. Which my mysterious remains. Alright. Let's see. I'm just trying to read up all this just to make sure what I do when I want to do. Because if I resign, that does not have an attack of opportunity. So these guys will not hit me as soon as I resign. So I can just leave right now. So that's what I'm going to do. If Blessed Blade is ready, fight. You get +1 for this attack. If an Elder Sign or a Bless token is revealed during this attack, it deals 1+ damage. My Machete does so much better than this, but mostly because single player. But I picked this card and put it in my deck for the free add-in, so I can add these cards in my deck. Before revealing the TS token, you may exhaust Blessed Blade and add +1. Alright, so we're just going to attack the Conglomeration of Spears. We're not going to kill the Several Lurker. There's no way. So I'm going to put this in and exhaust it, put this in the bag. And I do that before I reveal a token. Hopefully I don't actually reveal it. So I get a +1 for this attack, which means I do 1 damage to it. But Conglomeration of Spears. After you perform an attack against the Conglomeration of Spears, use an melee card, discard that card. And this goes away. And then I'm going to resign. Bam. Done. I'm out. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance, which I did. You make your way through the ruin-slicked streets of Arkham. The investigator resigned in control. Peter Clover enters. If the investigator resigned with Clover under his control. Go to R3, otherwise R1. So yeah, we didn't save Peter. We left him to die because there was no way I'm going to be able to go through these two guys by myself. Alright, so Resolution 1. You flee to the end of the block and pause to recover. Before you can catch your breath, the ground shakes with a thunderous crash. People emerge from their homes and storefronts to see what the ruckus is. A crowd forms on the street. You head to the front of the crowd and are horrified to see the building in which you fled from just minutes earlier reduced to rubble. There is no sign of Dr. Morgan anywhere. In your campaign log, record that the O'Bannon gangs have a bone to pick with the investigators, so, yeah. The mobsters isn't really too happy with me. On your campaign log, record that Dr. Francis Morgan was kidnapped. Yep, he was definitely kidnapped. There was, so if you actually played this one first, it's possible to actually save Francis Morgan. But because I did it second, he was already kidnapped by the time I got here. If the players cheated, add 1 Elder Thing Chaos token to the Chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. Nope, I did not cheat at all, so I don't have to do that. Each investigator earns experience equal to the Victory X value of each card in the Victory Display token, and then earns 1 additional experience as he or her reflects on the night's events. So I gain 1, 2, 3, 4 because of the pit boss, and 5 because of the campaign gaming one. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Proceed to Interlude 1, Armitage's Fate. Armitage's Fate. Check campaign log. If the investigators were unconscious for several hours, read Armitage's Fate 1. But we were not unconscious for several hours, so we go to Armitage's Fate 2. When you arrive at Dr. Armitage's home in Southside, you find him sitting at his desk, pale face and sweating with worry. He's great for you for certain for his colleagues, but he doesn't look relieved. With a long pause, he straightens his glass and explains, I'm afraid I must apologize. There's something I didn't mention to you earlier. Dr. Armitage then spins a tale you would scarcely believe had it not been your harrowing experiences earlier that night. In your campaign log, record that the investigators rescued Dr. Henry Armitage. Any of the investigators may choose to add Henry Armitage into his or her deck. This card does not count towards the investigator's deck size. Alright, and then the story continues in Scenario 2, Yog-Sothoth Museum. Alright, so we did not save Francis Morgan, but we did rescue Armitage because we weren't knocked out. Alright, and that's basically it. I'll see you next time for the Yog-Sothoth Museum.